Changing Expectations, written by KK Slider. Chapter 21, Ishtar. My smile faltered when I got a good look at the voice's origin. Nightmare Moon, a tall alicorn, fur as black as night. No, night had a blue shade to it. This was the absolute absence of color, though it took a slight purple tinge at the very edges. A nebulous mane, flowing behind her in a non-existent breeze. Warplate, the same light blue as her big eyes. Her wings were spread wide, as if her massive build was not intimidating enough. She stood tall, staring me down. Despite being the same size as Queen Chrysalis, I felt oh so much smaller.
Thou art not a pony, Chrysalis.
She had an aura of authority that Chrysalis would be jealous of. I never said I was.
Thou art neither an acolyte of my knight.
When she spoke, I felt the very air in my lungs vibrate. I rarely enjoy the luxury of seeing the sky.
Hast thou only told us lies?
Like my own, she had slitted eyes, like two ovals cut clean from pure obsidian, hung in a pool of blue. I swallowed. I only told a single lie.
If thy lie is not your species, nor your devotion, then it must be thy name.
I felt my heart beat faster and faster each time she spoke. Yes, was all I said.
We see. Thou wilt not tell us thy name?
My breaths deepened almost imperceptibly. No, names hold power.
One who claims to be Chrysalis, thou art wise for not trusting apparitions within the dreamscape. However, thy wisdom is countered by slighting us. Bequeath thy name to us. We have been truthful, so too shall you, lest you incur our wrath.
This is an alicorn. This is an avatar of power. The true apex predator of the world. I'd rather not piss her off. You may call me P.
P, what art thou?
I am a watcher in the dark.
Thy honeyed words broke her no favors, P. Thou weed thy words to suit us. Flattery is a waste of breath.
There is no more accurate a description of my people. Nightmare Moon leans back, eyeing me over.
People, thou art assuredly not a pony of mine. Doth thou even knowest of us?
We know only of two alicorns. You are neither.
Then thou doth know of us. We were formerly Princess Luna, Diarch of Equestria.
I shook my head. Princess Cadence and Princess Celestia are the two alicorns. Nightmare Moon sneered and stomped a hoof. I was sent half an inch upwards off the ground.
Has our sister perverted our name? What else has her tyranny corrupted?
I recovered enough to answer. You're not Princess Cadence, that much is clear. This made her pause.
No? Then who is this Cadence you speak of?
The alicorn of love. Nightmare Moon threw her head back with a laugh.
Love? Love?
Her form shuddered as she was taken by a fit of laughter.
We have not heard such a humorous joke in a millennia. There are but two alicorns, P. Ourself and our twice-damned sister, Celestia.
Our knowledge of Equestria is rather lacking.
Thy kind doth not live within Equestria? Of course not. We would have known of your kind. We suspect knowledge of alicorns has been distorted greatly in thy lands. We art the alicorn of night. Our sister is the alicorn of day. There is no alicorn of love.
3 alicorns then. I doubt our knowledge is wrong there. Nightmare Moon moved closer to me. When I didn't move, she started prowling around me.
Thy darkened visage, thy stark white fangs, thy slitted eyes. If we did not know better, we would assume that thou were created in our own image.
She stared at my back.
Thou hast wings?
I looked backwards and saw the tips of my wings peeking out of my elytra. I moved them out and completely into view.
If thy shined carapace hath not revealed thy heritage, thy wings surely would have. Night Watcher, we knowest of no insects who are cunning as thou art.
I turned to face her. With her being so close now, I could see in detail the etchings on her armor. The strands of her fur pushed down by the edges of her war plating. I need to be careful with what I tell her. We are hidden from the world intentionally. To be known is to risk destruction from Equestria.
Thou art an enemy of our sister?
She does not know so. The corner of her mouth raised in a smile that threw up red flags.
Thou also doth not bow and scrape as a serf doth. We suspect in the waking world thou head is not unadorned. Tell us 'tis so.
I was silent.
And thou art no lordling neither. Thou hast at thy beck and call a kingdom?
Despite my better judgment, I slowly nodded.
Prithee, let us strike a covenant. We possess a common enemy whose removal benefits the both of us. Upon our return to the world, let us strike at the tyrant who sits upon the throne of Equestria.
A potential ally, and also a potential enemy, once Equestria has fallen. We are so far from Equestria's borders. We are also unprepared for war. It would take a year to march to Canterlot. I lied.
Then should our sister survive my arrival, you shall join forces with our loyal acolytes. Thy forces will grant us strength, and our might shall grant us victory. Together, we shall vanquish our foes and usher in an era of night.
You receive the throne of Equestria, the rulership of night.
As is our right.
And in exchange, we receive an end to the Sun Tyrant?
Doth we have an accord?
Hell no! You'll just turn your sights on us afterwards once you find out about our diet. We do.
What is thy full name, P?
Like hell, I'm telling you. Prince Phasmatodea. Wait, what? Is this some kind of truth spell? Nightmare Moon smiled once more.
A prince, not a king? Thou hast good taste indeed, Prince Phasmatodea.
No! Lie to her! I nodded. I don't feel any magic. What is this?
Thou art conversing a great while. Thou slumbers deeply.
For now. Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Then we shalt converse for what time we have. Doth thou enjoy our prison?
She gestured around us. You are imprisoned here? On the moon? Nightmare nodded.
Our sister cast us off when 1,000 years passed. We have toiled here in the dust since.
Why can't I lie to her? I already lied to her once. What's changed? I never imagined this is what the moon looks like. No, I can still lie. So why did I tell her my name? Was this some kind of gash with the cord that I didn't know about?
We suspect few thought of our distant moon as such a wasteland.
We were silent for a bit. I did not attempt to start any lines of conversation. I was so worried that it would say more things I didn't want to, like the location of the hive. My heartbeat hadn't slowed any bit during our conversation. In fact, it rose when I told her the truth. The silent moments allowed me to regain control of my wits and bring my heart rate down.
Thou knowest of our bindings now. What dwelling doth the Night Watcher Prince lodge in?
I live in a collection of rooms at the center of our society.
A collection of rooms? Thou describes thyself as a baseborn, not a prince.
Don't need a thesaurus for that one. Our kingdom is not nearly as large as Equestria.
Thy words trouble us. Have we made a covenant with a pollard?
Not sure what that means, but if you are doubting our strength, rest assured, our levy is beyond what Equestria is capable of.
Verily, thou remindest us of our own acolytes yet again.
Nightmare Moon abruptly straightened up.
Thou art awakening. If we do not converse ere our return on the longest day, remember our covenant, Prince Phasmotodea. 1 year, we expect homage at Canterlot, or a joining on the battlefield. Thou art wise to ally thyself with the rightful ruler of the sky.
1 year. The gray dust of the moon blurred out of focus. I emerged from the biopod coughing and hacking up the fluid. The cold air immediately bit through my carapace, chilling me. I started to shiver, and I opened my eyes to the dark interior of my room. Light was spilling in from the open doorway, where Chamberlain Yuchar stood. As he spoke, I pressed a hoof to my chest. My heart was still beating faster than resting pace.
Welcome back, my prince. As I said, you are perfectly unexploded. In fact, your new horn looks dashing.
Dashing? I echoed and looked up. All I saw was the ceiling above me. Do you have a mirror?
As a matter of fact, one was retrieved during your absence. But, the horn was not the only change you underwent, my prince. During your submersion, your body molted for the first time.
Yuchar floated the mirror over, and I grabbed it, holding it in front of me. Funnily enough, seeing my own reflection was like an out-of-body experience. I half expected to see me staring back, a human, not a changeling. But no, I am a changeling now. My smooth drone horn was gone. In its place stood a taller horn, still more closely resembling a drone's rather than Chrysalis's. It was a uniform backwards curve, though taller and the curve more shallow in comparison to its length. I also got a good look at my face, slitted eyes, like an orange parallel to Nightmare Moon's. Large white fangs dominated the front of my muzzle. I had a black carapace, though tinted pink with splotches of love gel that I had emerged from. Its shininess reminded me of a black jaguar, quite dissimilar from the vent of black fur that covered Nightmare Moon. I couldn't recall the last time I saw my own reflection. I couldn't remember if I even saw it in the first place. Moving my head to the side, I saw a fin jutting out from the back. It was light red, and had it continued to the top of my head, I would have called it a plume. I imagined I would see a tail of similar color and length if I were to get out of the pod completely. It seemed to stay rigid at all times, though the fin did seem to move when I pressed on it. That feels weird, like the cartilage of an ear or nose. Pressing on my fin gave me a good look at my forelegs, which I now inspected. They did seem longer, though I could not tell how tall I was now, sitting half submerged in the pod. Huh, I spoke quietly. Not bad.
I'm glad you think so, my prince.
Yachar said.
This was most unexpected. It appears your body has taken more after a common drone than a changeling royal. You lack the hair and the crown that adorns every royal.
Luckily, I find the common drone to be adorable, so this is far from ugly. In fact, keeping in mind the slight protrusions from Chrysalis's head that she calls hair, I'd say that this is an improvement. Unexpected, but not unwelcome. As long as this is the final change to my appearance, then I'd say I've gotten off lucky with my mutations. Yachar leaned to the side and into my line of sight.
There's more, Prince Phasma. Your mother has picked a day for the invasion.
I lowered the mirror to glare at him. Let me guess, it's far too soon.
The summer solstice. Princess Celestia will be completely unprepared for our arrival during the pony celebration.
5 months?
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the
5 months? That's... Celestia will be busy, alright. Perfect, I said slowly. The summer solstice. The promised day will be the longest day of the year, and the ponies won't know what hit them. Changing Expectations. Written by Kiki Slider. Chapter 22. Enkidu.
Prince Phasma?
Queen Chrysalis? She was seated at her desk, and I across from it. After Yachar had helped me out of the pod, my wings were too wet and pliable to fly, I was told Chrysalis was in her study.
You look like a drone.
I wonder whose fault that is. Are there any other repercussions for my hatching that I should be on the watch for? Chrysalis was silent while she thought.
Well, I've already covered the exploding and the turning pink. I did not expect such a drift from royal physiology.
I raised my eyebrows but said nothing.
You might have changed more than just physically. Do you have any heightened senses? Anything special of note?
I knew what that Pegasus was dreaming about, and I talked with a goddess in my sleep. None. Lying to the Ling who taught me how to lie would normally be a very stupid and dangerous thing to do. Luckily, she merely improved my skills, not created them.
We shall see if anything comes up in your magic training when it resumes next week. For now, Chamberlain Charles informed you of your constraint?
The summer solstice? She nodded.
The summer solstice. You will have to begin reforming the swarm immediately to make such an ambitious deadline. You will not fail me, nor will you fail the swarm.
No, I will not. I do have a plan for the swarm and its restructuring. I presume that I am also drafting the plan for the invasion?
Aside from the infiltration of Canterlot and the duel with Princess Celestia, I leave the conquering of Equestria up to you. Should be easy, given the decadence of stagnation of the pony's military.
Good. That is the assumption I worked off of. I suspect that, if we were ponies, this is the part where I dramatically drop a thick binder of papers onto your desk, one labeled Evil Plans. Queen Chrysalis leaned in close.
There is no good or evil, just survivors. Now tell me, High Marshal Prince Phasma, how will you make sure that we are the survivors?
The room of changelings was packed full. The classroom was made to accommodate 30, yet it was stuffed to 45. Private Ventricle was one of these 45 changelings, stuffed in like a hay bale on a cart. This must have something to do with the High Marshal. The classroom door opened, and a changeling walked in. He was, compared to everyone else, nearly unremarkable. The only difference between them and every single other changeling in the room was a long jagged scar across his left foreleg. The newcomer stopped and turned to face the crowd.
Time is short, as is my patience, so let's get started. I am Sergeant Hermetia, but you all call me Sir for short. You're all here because the swarm needs new soldiers, and you are one of 10 groups tapped for this. By the end of this month, you'll all be leaders, or you'll be failures.
Yeah, definitely something to do with the High Marshal.
Each one of you will be responsible for anywhere from 10 to 20 changelings. That's a lot of lives riding on your shoulders. If you crack, you better crack now, or else there will be dead lings on your hooves.
The changelings in the room started to glance at each other, sharing the same thoughts. None dared whisper them out loud, not while a superior officer was in the room. 20 lings? I'm just a private. All I'm supposed to do is break up fights in the habitation quarters, or do long patrols out in the hot waste. The sergeant continued.
You will not be officers of the swarm. You will be officers of the legions. The old swarm is dead. High Marshal Prince Phasma Tadea has ordered the raising of 12 legions, with room for more.
The fuck is a legion?
Came an unbidden voice from the back. Despite his line of sight being obstructed by 5 changelings in front of him, Sergeant Hermetia snapped to where the voice came from. Buzzing his wings, he lifted off and hugged the ceiling in a tight maneuver before stopping above the back of the group. All the while, his head tracked the source of the sound. The changeling in question started to shrink under the sergeant's direct ire, making herself as small as possible. The sergeant continued to stare, and the private started to sweat. Private Ventricle did not envy the loudmouth.
I mean, sir, what is a legion, sir?
A legion, maggot, is our new formation.
Sergeant Hermetia growled.
You, however, will be nothing more than a latrine cleaner in the 11th. Get the fuck out of my room!
As the private scrambled up and over the changelings to get to the door, Sergeant Hermetia snapped his head and took in the room.
I told you worthless grubs that I have no patience for your mewling. This is your one and only warning. Waste my time, and I will make your life miserable.
Fucking fantastic. There goes my easy meals. Private Ventricle knew his days of lounging around and yelling at drones were over. Well, not the yelling part. There would be much more of that. But first, he had to survive this crash course on how to not get underlings killed. Thorax. Hearing his name, Thorax stopped pushing the cart full of sedimite rocks. The lower tunnels were lit up with the light green glow moss that permeated through the hive. The only way he knew he was low, close to the base of the hive, was the intermediate creaking sounds coming from above him, as the hive swayed imperceptibly in the wind. The only Ling that would look for Thorax was Pharynx. Thorax wasn't sure how his brother found him deep down here in the hive, far away from their shared room in the habitation block, but he was glad for the company.
Pharynx, can you believe they put me on?
Turning around, Thorax saw a changeling that most definitely was not his brother. The voice was deeper than he remembered, but there was no mistaking those eyes. Hello again, Thorax. I always keep my word. Thorax studied every detail of Phasma's new appearance. Tall, red tail and fin, and much taller horn. This was not the nymph Thorax saw a month ago. This was a changeling royal with presence.
He's back? Phasma? I thought...
Phasma chuckled. That I wouldn't find you? It wasn't easy, especially not with how busy my schedule is, but I heard word that a certain pony-sympathetic changeling was seen down here in... Thorax leaped at Phasma, pulling him into a hug. Ah, by the 9! Does the whole First Fang love hugging? If you all hug me each time I say hello or goodbye, I'll be suspected of encouraging pony ideals. The First Fang. The thought made Thorax let go and back up.
You managed to get in contact with everyone else?
Not yet. You're the first. I was going to collect Estradi after this. How have you been? Thorax glanced back at the carts.
They have me doing manual work. Apparently, I'm too risky for my old duty processing Love Joe. They thought I would steal or something.
Phasma sighed and had a downcast expression when Thorax looked back at him. Or rather, up at him.
You're tall now.
He chuckled. Just noticing? I molted 5 days ago, and now I look like the bastardization of a drone and a royal.
I can definitely see the drone part. You look good, Phasma.
Phasma grinned. That means a lot. Thank you, Thorax. How's your brother?
Oh, he's doing well. He's in a training course, something about a high marshal making tons of new officer positions. I imagine you had something to do with that.
What? No! You're thinking of another high marshal. Phasma chuckled quietly. I didn't come here to speak work, though.
You came here just to say hi, then?
Yeah, I've already had times where I lamented the loss of your company, Thorax. Despite what others say, it's a breath of fresh air to hear what you have to say. Thorax stared at the ground and scuffed a hoof.
Oh, you seem to be the only one, then.
The First Fang also misses you. Thorax snorted and looked back at his prince.
You just said you haven't seen him.
Oh, right. You got me there. Well, I'm sure they do. We're family, after all.
Hey, if we're family, do you think you could...
Thorax pointed to the carts. Phasma rubbed his chin. I think so. Putting a changeling in my personal retinue as divisive as yourself would paint a target on your back, though. Think you can handle it?
Well, you got my back, right?
Of course.
Then we can handle it.
Phasma smiled. We can handle it. It's good to have you back, Thorax. Come on, we gotta silence Softy to go full net from his duties. They left the cart where it was and walked back to the upper levels. They passed a closed door before the main junction, with Excavation Office A037 carved next to the doorway.
Oh, right. I need to explain to the Fourling. Don't want a search party looking for me after all. Hey, Phasma. I need to tell my boss that I'm being reassigned.
Thorax peeled off and knocked on the door. Enter, came a muffled yell. He pushed the door open and slipped inside the muggy office. Excavator Thorax? Shut the damn door! You're letting the heat out!
Fourling Soleus? I'm being reassigned.
The Ling scowled, looking up at Thorax. He was sitting down at a hive gel desk that had a few actual papers on it, and was holding a real clipboard.
No, you're not. Get back to work or I'll cut your rations in half for the next week.
I am!
Thorax moved closer.
Prince Phasma's personally reassigning me.
Soleus raised an eyebrow.
Really, Thorax? You flunk an infiltrator course, and suddenly you think you are the best liar in the hot.
Thorax heard the door behind him open. Praetorian Thorax, hurry this up. I was serious when I said my schedule was packed. He turned around, seeing Phasma half in the doorway.
Praetorian? What? I'll ask him later. Right, I need to play up his titles. Apologies, my prince. I was just being delayed. It will be resolved immediately.
Thorax turned back around and saw Soleus with his jaw open, clipboard slowly slipping out of his hooves.
It
is proper to bow before your prince, Trone, came the low voice behind Thorax. Soleus let the clipboard slip from his grasp before ducking low.
Apologies, my prince. Thorax, I will make sure there are no issues here.
His scared reaction made Thorax lurch forward.
Oh, thank you, Soleus. Don't worry about this. You're just being...
We're leaving, Praetorian.
Right, my prince. Sorry, my prince.
Thorax hurried after the retreating form of Phasma. When they were out of earshot, Thorax whispered over.
You came into the office quickly.
I didn't like what I heard when the door was still open.
Phasma, what's a Praetorian?
A royal guard, he whispered back. Changelings bowed to Prince Phasma as they continued up the hive.
A royal guard is a royal guard.
Thorax returned. Not anymore. I had them renamed so they don't get confused with the pony's royal guard.
Wow, I'm a royal guard?
No, you're a Praetorian.
Hey, Phasma.
Thorax whispered as quietly as he could while still being heard.
Does this mean I have to hurt Lings? I don't.
Nope, don't worry about that. Leave that to Eshadai.
That's a relief. That whole office thing, though. Are the rumors true? Hey, Phasma?
Thorax whispered again. Hey, Thorax.
There's rumors going around, and I'm sure they're not true, saying that you executed a changeling?
Phasma looked at Thorax out of the corners of his eyes as they continued to walk. I've never harmed anyone else.
Right. That's a relief. But, would you?
Sentence someone to execution?
Uh-huh.
Phasma took a moment to think it over. It was a moment too long in Thorax's opinion. Yes.
Phasma, you're better than that.
Am I? Thorax had to strain to hear that response. He nudged Phasma's shoulder.
Don't give me that. You're a good Ling, Phasma. Promise me you'll never hurt someone else.
Phasma stopped walking and faced Thorax, ignoring the changeling staring at the small royal procession of two. I'm the High Marshal. It's my duty to hurt others. I'd prefer not to, but something's gotta change here, and it falls to me to make that change happen. He moved on, leaving Thorax standing there before he hurried to catch up to Phasma.
You could try working with the ponies.
Working with the ponies? Hello, in exchange for hurting you, would you care for some vomits? We can't offer them anything.
Have you even looked into alternative feeding methods?
Not yet, but I wouldn't put too much hope on that. It's us or them, Thorax. I'm sorry, but you can't change that.
I don't give up that easily, Phasma. I'll figure out something. Just you watch.